What's up, guys? Megan Thompson here, joined by Jordan Ruby, who is joining us from just outside of Kingston, Ontario, Canada. You're in a little town, right, Jordan?
Correct. Just outside of a bigger city.
Okay, perfect. You and your family left actually a little bit after the season was canceled. So you guys were here in the States while the pandemic and the cancellation were really getting going, and then you guys headed back. What was that experience like for you guys trying to get across the border and then entering into that self-isolation?
Well, staying back, it was really quiet. We had the apartments all to ourselves, so our kids really enjoyed that. And like I tell everyone in Canada, like we felt very safe. West Virginia did a great job of managing it. So we were taking our sweet time. But some loved ones back home were kind of urging us just to, maybe it would be better if you just come back to Canada. So we packed up our things. We got a U-Haul trailer, and we just make the trip across. The border was very easy. They can't deny us back in our home country, but anyway, it was a super easy process. They give you a piece of paper and some things that are on there of what you can and cannot do for quarantine. So when we came to just outside Kingston, Ontario, where my wife's from, our house we were staying at, we just had to stay there basically for 2 weeks, and people had to do our groceries. We couldn't go over and see people, so that was pretty tough. I know for me, when someone says they have to quarantine and you never done it before, you think it's easy, but until you really have to do it, it was pretty tough. But I mean, here we are, we're in one piece, and we made it through.
Yeah, no, it's definitely hard, and it's great that you guys have that support system. I'm so glad you guys are safe and healthy back at home. We'll talk about hockey a little bit and then kind of get into some, I guess, quarantine or isolation fun questions. Looking back at the season, what maybe moment or memory stands out to you the most, whether it's on the ice or off of it?
This season. What's my most memorable moment?
Yeah, like for Brad Drobot, his was the rookie party. So is there something that for you, like maybe a relationship you were able to build with the guys, or something that when you look back, that's going to make this season memorable for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get my mind going. I mean, I always look, like every year it's the same with their team chaplain, but I always looking forward to our team chapels. Gary Pignell does our team chapels, and it's a couple times a month, and there's always a group of guys, 10 or 12, that go there, and those are always special. It's something a little different than hockey, bringing faith in the hockey world. You get to learn about Jesus and how it applies to hockey. So it's always fun. It's something different because we just eat, breathe, and sleep hockey, everyone.
Yeah.
So that was fun. The rookie party doesn't surprise you with Brad Drobot. I don't necessarily like this one, but just the way the season started with no ice and having to go to South Point. So I was always driving with Nick Saraceno. And when I came on the team last year, I got to play with a little bit with him, and then he got called up. So this year was like the first full year I got to play with them. And so anyways, early on, driving up back and forth, it made us, one, really appreciate having our own arena, but two, just driving and being able to spend time with guys, learn more about him. And so I really enjoyed that. So I think our friendship grew because of that. And it was just driving to a hockey rink. So nice and simple.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned like the way our season started and the way it ended, like what a crazy year. We didn't have ice and it gets canceled from a global pandemic. Like what was this last year? I was able to chat with Alex Dorio a little bit, and he talked about your relationship together. And he's such a young guy and you're an older guy. And he just talked about how you kind of helped guide him and you would watch video together. So from your perspective, how was that relationship with Dorio?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just when it comes to just you having a goalie partner, it's just going to grow on its own. You really don't have to try to work too much. I know, like just in general, just like I would say first off, the way the season's going, I wasn't off to the greatest start, but I've had to kind of get my game going first, and I felt like it started to take off then. And once I was just kind of able to kind of get traction in my own game. I was able to just, okay, kind of let's focus on Dorio here. Like I got to kind of save myself first. And just to kind of focus, like less is more with him. And I mean, he's obviously a young, very talented goalie, has skill sets that I don't have. But what I do have is an experience and a little bit more, maybe a mental game, or I've been through the ringer. So learning just more, just kind of reinforcing what he's doing is right, and kind of don't let those, maybe the thoughts of questioning, like, is this right? Am I doing it right? And humming and hawing. And that's when a goalie can kind of get in his head, and really goalie's just trying to get out of your own head. Yeah. So I felt like I was able to kind of be a good positive voice there. And yeah, he was already doing the right things, just making sure he kind of keeps to it and knows that he's on the right path.
How do you as a goalie stay mentally sharp? Because, you know, at one point we had Larmy here this season as well. And you want to see your team do well and other goalies do well, but you also want to have those same chances in net as well. How do you mentally balance that?
Just playing long enough to knowing that it normally comes full circle. I've been in times when you're sitting on the bench and it's tough to want to cheer the other goalie on, but at the same time, like, he's your teammate. Like, he's trying to do what you want to do. And when you kind of you got to get over yourself. And when you kind of just have more of just an encouraging spirit for them, not only do you feel better, but oftentimes I found is that when I get the chance to play, whether it's if the other goalie chooses to be reciprocal with the encouragement, I just feel free. Like, you know what, it wasn't like I was bashing the goalie. Now I'm in that, like, oh, like, what's going to happen? Is he bashing me? Like, no, like, when you're encouraging to someone and then you get the opportunity, I found that I was able to play my best, most free, because I made the most. There's a thing about making the most when you're on the bench, because you can have a big impact. I know Drobes is a big impact on the bench. He's not always playing, but he's always getting and the backup goalie can do the same. So then when you're on the ice, then you can have an impact in a different way. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I kind of love that mentality that you have there. You are one of the only guys, I think maybe the only guy at one point who was married, and definitely the only guy on the team with kids, which they're adorable. And you have 2 under 4, so you guys are very busy all of the time. What has that been like to be balancing being a dad, but also having hockey that you have to worry about? And when you're in the season, I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's like hockey kind of seems like the vacation part. Yeah, it's yeah, you can't really phone in sick for parenting. I don't know, you're just like, I'm sure everyone is, I guess how I can relate to them is maybe just what's going on right now in the world with COVID. Just you start learning how to just roll with the punches, and it just starts to become normal, even though the normal might be kind of sucky for you. But we're really good at adapting and just rolling with the punches. And when it comes to parenting, instead of a punch, you can maybe say a hug. Like, it's a good thing, but you just learn to adapt, make it part of your life, and then you don't desire really anything else or anything the same again. So with parenting, it's been great. You get thrown into it, and next thing you know, it's the afternoon time already. Like, time flies. But hockey is great because it just, when I'm at the rink, I could focus at the rink. All my attention's there, and it makes me want to work really, really hard, because I know, like, once I leave, I'm not maybe playing video games and all this other free stuff that the other guys have. I'm going to my family. So I just really want to exert myself and give it all I got at the rink, and know when I'm going home, then my attention's at the kids. So anyways, the kids, yeah, they take up a lot of my thoughts and my time, and that helps me not to overthink hockey, because my biggest thing I had to learn as a pro was, when you leave the rink, like, you physically leave, but you have to leave your mental side at the rink as well. So.
How special has it been? We have some really cute photos of you skating around with Eden, and then you're able to get Dawson out there, and with Jill, you have family photos. How special is it that you're able to make these memories with your kids on this ice, and they get to see you play? And I know when you're in net, I mean, Dawson for sure, he's older, so he just lights up.
Yeah, it's just whatever you can do to make your kids happy. A parent understands how fun it is, and you know, it's making those memories. It's not just a memory, but you feel the memory too. So looking back on it, just you enjoy it, and it kind of really it puts a perspective on the sport and what the sport can do. Because I mean, I'll be honest, like sometimes it's whether the game went well or not, skating with the fans can sometimes be a little tough, right? There's a lot of motion in the game, a lot of skin. But it's once you get doing it, then your heart kind of catches up to your actions, and it reminds you, like, oh, like this is what it's about. And so whether I'm skating with my kids or skating with the fans, who we love and appreciate, you guys, by the way, it means a lot. And that's what it is about hockey, just to obviously better. We want to be our best and better our hockey careers, but it's better and encouraging other people too. So.
Yeah, I know our fans love being able to have that one-on-one experience, and you and all of the guys are, as hard as it is to come off a loss and maybe have to do those skates, you guys do a phenomenal job, and I know that's greatly appreciated by the fans. You mentioned chapel being something that you really liked. Your faith is something really, really important to you. What role in your life has your faith had, not just in your life, but also when it comes to hockey?
Yeah, I mean, that's a loaded question.
I know, but I think, we see you at the end of games, you'll be praying with maybe somebody on your team or a teammate, like I think Butcher a couple of times. And so we see you show that on the ice also, but it's really something that you encompass, and it's the way you treat people and your teammates and how you approach life as well as the game.
Yeah, I mean, I know like there's a saying, and I would say like I'm a Christian who just happens to be a hockey player. I'm not a hockey player first who just happens to be a Christian. I'm actually a Christian first and I just happen to play hockey. As a Christian, our goal is just to know Jesus more and encourage others to know Jesus. And I felt like God's put hockey in my life as that vehicle to kind of, in a way, transport that message and transport that love. And while I'm doing hockey, like my message kind of still stays the same, just to encourage others, just to be their best selves, but at the same time, encourage others that there's a real God who's personal, who wants a relationship with them. And until I'm playing hockey, that's my purpose. That's my heart in it. I love hockey just in itself. That's how God wired me, but I'm a Christian first. So whenever I can, I like to show it. And the whole praying thing started, maybe it was like 6 years ago now. It was another guy I went to school with. His name was Zach Frischman. He went to Mercyhurst, and he started praying with his guys after hockey games in college. So I started doing it as well. And then from that on, when we played against each other, we started praying after. And ever since then, there's been a little bit of a following. So any Nailor fans that are listening to this, and especially maybe ones of faith, if you see hockey games, just check out, stay after, and see who prays, because there's a few more of us praying. And it's a good way to kind of show how after the game, after all this emotion, we can give thanks for thanks is due. So that's the heart of me, and I'm glad I can do it through hockey.
Yeah, I love it. And I just think it's important our fans get to see that side of you too. And maybe those who haven't had that personal touch with you really get to know what is your driving force in life.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of speaking to that, obviously you have years of hockey left in you, but I think you've maybe mentioned this to me, so correct me if I'm wrong, have you ever thought of going into ministry?
Yeah, I know, like, sometimes it's hard to think ahead when you're maybe not out of something first, but I know in my heart is just to be a pastor. I don't know if that maybe is in a church, if that's to a hockey team, however that may be. But like I said, my heart goal is just to pastor people in Jesus' love. And as of right now, I use hockey to do that. But I could see myself being a pastor in a church someday.
I could see it too, for sure. Because even sometimes when I'm having hard days and I'll see you guys at practice, you'll say something and it's just very encouraging, and you have this great ability to give that advice through that. I'll switch gears into some more lighthearted, I guess, more fun questions. I've kind of hit you with some heavy questions here. While you're in quarantine, what have you guys been doing? I know your family loves to be outside, so what have you guys really been doing that's taken up your time?
Oof, what we've been doing. Well, the routine normally goes, I wake up a little earlier sometimes. I like to do a little reading, but my Dawson wakes up around Eden and Dawson say wakes up at 8 o'clock. They have their breakfast. Jill and I have our coffee, and then we go outside, and it's either switch back and forth. Either I play with the kids and Jill does some paintings, does some home renovations, or we flip it and then I do some work, some painting, home renovations, landscape. But the kids they still love to ride. We're on a nice little piece of property, so we got some pavement, some gravel, and a bunch of grass. So a lot to work with. So Dawson loves riding his bike. Eden has a scooter she's getting really good at. And if I'm watching them, I have a soccer ball and I'm just dribbling it, keeping it up. My soccer is my second love, I would say. So in the summer, I love playing soccer. So I enjoy just trying to keep the ball up, watching my kids at the same time, make sure they don't get too close to the road, and doing a lot of wrestling outside. So, and then lunchtime hits and they go down for a nap, and that's normally when I work out. Jill maybe does some more work, and by the afternoon, it's just lots of playing outside, and I'm just as tired as they are. And then they go to bed around 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I know your kids are super active and they love to wrestle with you and eat dirt and roll in mud. They're so much fun. And the soccer thing, I know you're just preparing for those pregame sewer ball sessions.
Yeah.
If you had to be quarantined with one teammate from this last season, who would you pick, and why would you pick that teammate?
Oh, I got a couple answers. I'm just thinking about what might happen if I say their name and a teammate hears. I don't know. There's a couple good prospects. It's never a dull moment with Brad Robot.
That's for sure.
Sino, we get along real well. Cam Brown, we've been roommates. I was roommates with Butchie all year, so I'm comfortable with some of these guys. I might throw a curveball. I might say Will Smith, because he can play the guitar pretty well. And if I start to get bored, I think he could probably sing some songs, serenade me. I don't know, do something nice. So yeah, maybe Willie Smith. He's got some talents outside of hockey, so I'll maybe choose him. He's a good singer, if you haven't heard, by the way.
Yeah, he blew me away with his Sunday covers, and I kept harassing him to do an interview with me because you guys could you'd become a band. I think he would.
Yeah, we could.
He would just have a blast.
Yeah, he'll like that. Yeah.
He will. Is there one thing that, obviously you guys still have some lockdowns, and so do we, not fully open yet, but is there something that is in particular that you're really looking forward to either doing, a place you're going to go eat, somebody you want to go see once you are able to kind of get out of this sort of quarantine and a lot of these restrictions are eventually lifted?
Yeah, I mean, Jill and I our anniversary, our 6th year is on June 14th. And I doubt we'll be free to do a lot of stuff by then. I don't know, hopeful. Anyways, but I think what we want to do is just get away, leave the kids behind, and maybe do like around this area. It's called there's an area called the Thousand Islands. You have it in like Watertown area, and across the water is kind of where we're living right now. But anyways, there's a bunch of dinner boat tours that go on, so you eat food and you can like just sightsee so as you're moving in the water. And I think that'll just be something nice, just something different, kind of get away, literally off land, on water. And I know it's simple, but just spend time with my wife that way would be really nice. Get a date night. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I bet you she is too, and ready to not have to be worried about playing in mud or doing any of that. Just the two of you for sure. Mm-hmm. Well, Jordan, I'm pretty much out of questions, and I'll let you get back to wrestling or painting or whatever you guys have going on. But I'm so glad that you and your family are healthy through all of this, and we can't wait to hopefully see you soon.
Thank you very much, Megan.
All right. Thanks, Jordan. Bye.